guys. At first I came out here looking slick, right? I thought I was gonna brave the cold, but it's not funny, guys, for real. It's cold. I promise you, I have a lot of content I've filmed, but I just haven't had time to put them on the channel. I will today. I promise. I'll try and get them into the channel today. Hi guys, it's my content day, so I gotta put it in, right? I gotta put it in. There's so many things going on. I'm seeing so many things that are happening, and they're forming the pattern, and patterns I've been noticing lately. When it comes to our talent, when I mean our talent, I mean talent of a certain culture, right? I have to be particularly correct with this. Talent of a certain culture. So when you think about our talent, you think about what we do as artists, as creatives, as creators, as people with some level of flair in the things that we distribute or that we deliver to the world, right? So I'm talking about people that can sing, can dance, can skate, can design video games, can design apps, can code, can be models, you know, like, but I'll stick to just singers. I'll just stick to singers, right? Because singers and actors, for example, right, they create narratives that we can employ and gain from immediately. So it's an instant gratification when you're dealing with an artist, right? A singer, a rapper, someone that produces music or produces film, something you can engage in instantly and get the benefit from. Those soloable talents were often misrepresented in terms of the numbers, in terms of the actual numbers. So, for example, if you think about Summer Walker, right? She's a singer. I like Doja Cat too. Music I'm talking about is not music I listen to, but music I like that I've heard. So I'm using that example. I don't listen to those songs, but anyway, or to those artists, but I do like what they do. I've heard the music. I just don't listen to it. But this artist, Summer Walker, I heard, I can't confirm this, but I heard that she had over 1 million streams in a particular song, and she basically did not get a substantial amount that reflected what she streamed, right? So she got like $600 for 1 million streams, right? Now, I'm not sure how the music numbers work. I know about film numbers, but I'm not sure how music numbers work. But it seems to me that if you have 1 million people or 1 million impressions come across your work, if you know, if 1 million impressions come across your work, $600 doesn't make any sense. It's not in the ballpark for me. I just feel like $600 does not come into that conversation. If I have 1 million anything, $600 will not come into it at all, right? I have my fingers in the ashy because my wife is gonna be mad at me. I need to all these hands. But anyway, I might have something back. So I don't want a situation where you have talent and you miss the side of the business. It makes no sense to have all this talent and you miss the side of monetizing that specific deal to make sense for not just you, but the future generations. So I want people to understand that they can always do a quick course in business management. Because when you understand the basics of assets, liability, income statements, balance sheets, when you understand the basics of how numbers behave, how they work, how wealth works, how wealth is hedged, how you hedge against things, how you leverage money, how you quantify a deal, how you make contracts work for you, how contracts are designed and offer the acceptance, the signature. You have to understand the language of business, right? And there's the talent, and that's beautiful. That comes from you training your gifts, which comes from God. However, when you get the talent, it doesn't mean you're going to get paid. You might get a manager that will help get you paid, or someone that understands the numbers, that understands your value in the marketplace. it's then that you will begin to monetize your gifts properly. You can be the best rapper in town, the best singer, the most talented model. But if you can't talk to Ford or INCM or WAA, whoever the CAA, whoever is representing you guys, you can't speak to them with the language that they understand. So you see, Revlon is here, Cash is here, you're on the model with the talent, the photographers, the managers, everybody's here. So how do you connect all these dots? How do you make it worth your time? How does it equate to dollars? You know, so you have these beautiful likes, you have the followers everywhere, but you're not making money. You know, where's the bag? They must have said that. Where's the bag? So we have to realize something. The talent that we have is not going anywhere. The talent is not going anywhere. It's a gift. It's there for you to make money, right? It's not going anywhere now. But here's the thing. You may not get rich out of it. You must study his talents and also study history. If you look at, there's a film on Netflix called Two Killings of Sam Cooke. In that story, you realize something. Every time someone is trying to make a difference in our society in a way that puts him above the rest, in other words, when you understand your position of equity and understand your talent well, to where you want to make a change for your people, for yourself, for your generations to come, then you might get thrown out the bus. You might get flushed down the toilet, right? If you're not strong enough to understand your position as a position of ownership, right? So what Sam Cooke was trying to do was, he was like, listen, I'm not gonna have a big name. I'm gonna have a small business name. I'm gonna start buying music rights, publishing rights. And I think he touched some rights that belong to the Beatles. I'm not sure, but he did make some business moves that touched on some sensitive areas where he shouldn't have owned. Who's to say he shouldn't own it? But he tried to push against the grain, and that affected him, and that caused him to die. Almost. I mean, if you watch One Night in Miami with Regina King, shout out to Regina King, directed a beautiful film. When you watch the film, 4 great men converged in a small hotel room in Miami in the 60s. 4 men: Muhammad Ali, Cassius Clay, Malcolm X, Sam Cooke, and Jim Brown. You know, I met Jim Brown, like, I don't know, I want to say, maybe like 15 years ago at the theater in the Grove. If you know the Grove in LA. Yeah, some of the theater, we said hi, you know, but he still has the same gravitas and prestige that he had way back in the 60s when he messed with Raquel Welch and the 100 Rifles. Check that out, in a pretty quick film of the time. But these 4 men gathered in this Miami hotel room, and Sam Cooke was amongst them. These are guys that were making change in our society. Jim Brown was #1 NFL, strong guy, heavy, you know, polarizing character. You know Malcolm was fire, and then you know, the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali, he was there. And the person that had the nervousness, that was anxious about the situation, that knew the dire nature of the situation that they were in the 60s, was Malcolm X. But Sam Cooke was being talked to by Malcolm X about his career, about his voice. Basically, stop singing trash. Sing something that's going to push her career forward. Push not just her career, but also push black experience forward in American culture. So, blacks were going through a revolutionary time, a very revolutionary time. And Malcolm X was heading that shift, right? He was trying to tell these 3 gentlemen in the room that, listen, you guys got to get your game together, right? Sam Cooke was already there with the music, representing a certain section of society, but actually pushing the ownership side of it. So the publishing side, where the money's at. It was pushing that area hard. And that's one of the reasons he got killed. Now, understand this, right? There's no need to point any fingers. You know, God is the ultimate. He stops you from going or staying. You know, he runs everything. So, but the fact is, in society, the people that are there to stop you from getting paid with your talent or by your talent, right? So you have to be able to watch gatekeepers and look at how you can be of value to yourself and your family with the gift that you've been given, right? So in other words, what are we talking about here? We're saying pay more attention to the numbers than your talent. See, I don't really know. I've never seen, I only watch football. I don't really follow football. I like basketball, I don't follow football. But I know who Odell Beckham is. I know who AB is. I know, Tom Brady, so I know these guys, T.O., I know Untitled Chapter, I like those guys, right? I don't like them because of football. I've never seen them play. But there's something about the monetization of their talent that I like. There's something about the monetization of their play that I like. Maybe he's like doing this and doing that, But the point is, trust me, there are lawyers writing numbers for him. Untitled Chapter has different deals, right? So it's not just about the game, it's about the business of the game. It's about the business of the game. That's what it's about, right? So every time I'm doing something in LA or it's business related, I always make sure that my value, my talent, has legal power. There's backing of legal branding behind it that's going to monetize for me. That's the way I see it. So you must learn. This is a slight facet of what personal branding is about, but you got to get into the business side of your branding. So it's not so much about looking good, being stylish, but it's more about what's the number behind all that, right? So if I have 1,000 likes, is it going to pay bills for me next week? That's what I want to know. Is it going to pay for the bands? So where are the numbers? Where do the numbers meet? Where does the talent meet the numbers? Talk to me about that part. All right, I'm signing out this. I'd like to keep this between 10 and 12 minutes, keep it clean, So the next thing I want to talk about is something heavy, but we'll get into it. And I hope to see you guys in the next one.